Borodar, good morning. My name is Matt Goodall. I work as an advisor for the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust in Wales. That's the GWCT. I'm out this morning on a beautiful spring morning, as you can see, conducting a breeding bird survey on a farm near Pentref in Conwy County, and this is part of a European Innovation Partnership which is Welsh Government funded and EU funded. And the concept of the project is to increase biodiversity on farms, but to focus on songbirds on farms. And we know that our farmland bird population has declined dramatically in recent decades in Wales. And if you look behind me, we're in a grass dominated landscape. And if you think of this landscape through the winter, there's very little seed availability. So the idea in this project is to introduce wild bird seed mixes, cover crops into this equation. So this is one location where we'll be putting a cover crop in, and that'll be in the next couple of weeks at the end of May or beginning of June as the soil warms up. And this farm is a traditional hill sheep farm, and with that come problems from soil fertility and aspect and altitude. So I'm about 300 metres up here, which is just shy of 1,000 feet. This is one crop location. Another crop location is behind me up there, and that's about 350 metres, so over 1,000 feet. So it's quite hard to establish crops here. But if we can do so, we'll be introducing seed mixes into this environment, and that's food for these birds through the winter. And with that supplementary feed as well, we've shown in other areas that can dramatically increase the overwinter survival of these birds. And what that then leads to is an increased population into the spring, this time of year now, that can then breed and then obviously increase the population. So this project's due to go on for a couple of years, and we're going to be monitoring the population and see how it responds to these cover crops that are going to go in and the supplementary feeding over the winter. So as I said, this is one farm in this project, and this is the Upland Hill Sheep Farm. We've also got another farm in the project, which is a lowland organic dairy farm over near Trevenant in Denbighshire. And with having an organic farm in there and a hill farm, we've basically got two very challenging areas to establish these cover crops, with the concept being that if we can prove this theory here on these two farms, and it's repeatable across Wales, and the long-term goal of this is to really prove that this can work. This can work really well in Wales. We've got wild bird seed mixes available in Glastir at the moment, but obviously that's coming to an end, and the take-up of that particular option within Glastir has been really poor. So one of the things that we want to demonstrate within this project is realistic costings of how much this costs. So these crops will be put in by contractors. So we'll be proving the realistic costings and also, measuring all the benefits from that. So we want to showcase the potential for 2-year mixes, crops that you put in this year and it'll last a good 2 years. That therefore halves the establishment costs, but within that as well, you get all the fantastic benefits of having a cover crop in the ground throughout the year. So come this time now, spring and summer, you'll have an area which is full of insects as well, so that's great for these little birds to be feeding their chicks. And then also on top of that, there's a lot of flowers in these mixes, which would be great for pollinators and things like that. So we've got a crop there that provides food and cover through the winter for these birds, and then coming to the spring and summer, we've also got a crop that provides insects and flowers and things like that for pollinators. So it's ticking a lot of boxes, but as I said, we've got to make sure that the costings are right, and we've got to really be able to incentivise farms across Wales to go into things like this, because the idea is that you're giving over a smaller area of ground to have multiple benefits, and that's really got to be worth something. So as BPS is withdrawn in Wales, and we're looking at payments for the delivery of public goods, then this is one thing that we really want to increase and see a lot more of across Wales, and this project is aimed to prove the benefits of doing so. So that's me over and out. I've got my binoculars here, I've got my survey form, and I'm off doing a baseline survey to see what the breeding birds are currently, and then over the years we'll monitor this and see how they respond to these management methods. Thanks, bye now.